Another disturbing decision coming down from the Supreme Court today, and we're going to unpack all of it, including the ramifications for this country. Joining us now in the studio, we're just bursting at the seams with former Republican presidential candidates. Fred Thompson.
Everybody looking for something to do, aren't we?
Well, I know, Fred. It's great to see you. How are you?
Good to see you. Congratulations on the new show.
Oh, well, it's great to see you. It's like old days here, sitting on a set with you.
It is.
Now, tell us about what's going on at this court, because Justice Kennedy last week, 5-4 decision. This was a major, major turn on past precedent, allowing these detainees to challenge their detention in federal court. A lot of people are saying, well, what's wrong with that? I mean, they've been held, and some of them are boys, and why shouldn't we give them these processes, Fred?
Well, what disturbs me most about the court, other than branching off again away from historical precedent and doing something that I think is going to garner a good deal of praise in the New York Times, but be unknown to the law is the way we've interpreted it up until now. It kind of leaves the impression in the commentary I've seen by the supporters of the decision that, you know, this is kind of a jackbooted country that goes around stomping on little people around the world and so forth. And as you say, they say, well, why not give them a hearing and so on. We have given them, already before the Supreme Court decision, more rights, more hearings, more process than any prisoners in the history of the world by any country. This is just another laying on of an additional bureaucratic judicial morass that we're going to have to contend with now, and undoubtedly some bad people are going to be released.
You know what's amazing about this is that the President and Congress worked together to come up with these procedures after the last Supreme Court decision on this issue. So they were listening to the court saying, okay, we're going to do this, this, and this, and lots of processes, layers of procedures in place. And then the court basically said, no, we don't like that. Well, no, we don't like that. And Justice Scalia says what? He says, we are going to see people killed because of this decision. I've never seen a dissent like Justice Scalia. It's one of the most powerful things I've ever read.
Yeah, at a time when people are talking about bipartisanship, you know, this is one area where the two branches of government got together and did the right thing. And the branch that has least capability and least knowledge and least understanding about what's needed in times of war has taken it over. Fundamentally, it's about power, and it's about who's going to make decisions, and they let it be known that they're going to make these decisions having to do with our national security and foreign policy.
That is the kicker, and I hope that Senator McCain makes this point in the campaign trail. I know you maybe don't talk to him every day, but to me, that is such a winner with the American people. Unelected power, people who don't have any experience in keeping us safe, suddenly, you know, they just take over this whole area of decision-making. It's not a check on executive power, Fred. This is taking it completely into the hands of people who aren't subject to the people in elections.
And it's just going to make the judiciary held in less regard than it is today. You know, at a time when all of our institutions are under assault, from the church to everything else, the federal judiciary has always been a place that's been held above all of that. And if they're going to continue to act like politicians, they're going to start being treated like politicians and viewed like politicians. Look at what they have said is not good enough for Al-Qaeda. The rights that these prisoners of war have, these enemy combatants have, before this decision came back, were to be confronted with their accusers, the right to give testimony, to give documentary evidence, to cross-examine their computer.
Don't forget the halal food, Fred. They got that in the Qurans and the prayer rugs.
They
throw it all in the basket.
They get all of that, and then they get a chance to appeal a decision and access to classified information, limited. Appeal decision to a federal court in Washington. And then, if there's new evidence, they can go back and go through the process again. And the court took a look at this and said, no, we need to go further than that. And you know, the question I have, if these people who are foreign enemy combatants held in a foreign territory have these rights, what about the thousands that we're holding in Iraq and Afghanistan and other places in the world?
What happens with them?
Well,
a great point.
I don't see how we're going to be able to argue that if these people in this case have habeas corpus rights, how these others do not. They have put all of this into the lap of some anonymous federal district judge and their law clerks, that you would know something about.
Oh, well, I never did crazy things like that.
To decide what, in effect, this part of the rules of war are going to be.
Commander-in-Chief, Kennedy, Souter, Stevens, Ginsburg, the list goes on. I mean, this is where we are, right?
Which will cause additional appeals, because they're making it up as they go along.
It's a disaster.
And it will cause addill appeals, and we'll wind up having an even longer, more complicated process than we have today.